What is going on, you guys? This is JPro Gaming with another video. In this video, I'm going to go over two pitchers that you have probably faced plenty of times. The 99 Billy Wagner, who you see on the mound here, and then also the 99 Nolan Ryan, who you've probably seen plenty of times as well. I'm going to break down their pitches, how the ball comes out of their hands, what to look for, how other players are going to attack you with the pitches they do have. Just basically give you all this information. Hopefully you can use some of it to maybe use it into your own game, what to look for, and hopefully get better at-bats against these pitchers because they're very difficult to hit. So sit back, relax, and let's get it going. Alright, so we're going to start with Billy Wagner first. He throws four pitches. He throws a fastball that goes 98 to 101. He throws a curveball. He throws a slider. He throws a changeup. All of his miles per hour are there. Slider is at 89, curveball around 80, changeup's at 83. So he does have four very good pitches with four very deceptive speeds that can actually keep you off balance pretty good. But I'm going to break down some things that maybe you guys have not seen before. Maybe you have, maybe you picked it up before, but we're just going to jump right into it. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to be pitching, and I'm going to be talking as I pitch the ball. Let's go over his fastball. Everyone sits on this fastball. His fastball is very straight, a very straight fastball. So we're going to look right here. This is a very straight fastball, as you see. It comes straight out of the hand and it shoots out almost like a cannon. And you can see everything. He presents the ball to you on the left side of his body. So you can see the ball coming in very clearly as he releases the ball. That's something to look for because this fastball is pretty easy to pick up if you can understand how the pitcher is pitching you and when to expect a fastball. You can see, watch his hand, watch the release point. It comes straight out of his hand and it stays on a very level plane. So it doesn't move at all. It's not like a two-seamer. It's a very straight fastball. Let's go over his slider real quick. His slider does have a little bit of break to it, and it's a very deceptive pitch because it kind of looks like his fastball out of his hand. I'll throw a slider down and in here. Watch the ball literally come out of his hand. His slider, watch the ball. It stays on that level plane and then breaks, just like his fastball. So this is why this is very deceptive. It doesn't pop out of his hand like his curveball. You can kind of see it here a little bit. And it breaks down. It's very straight. Obviously, you can see the spin on the ball as he releases it. He shows you everything. Watch where the ball is. The ball is coming right there. He shows it to you. So he's actually pretty easy to pick up. He just has such good pitches with good deception of speed that he's very difficult to hit. And his 99 to 101 mile per hour fastball can get on you very quick. So as you see the slider here, if you watch his hand, watch exactly where the ball's going to come out. The ball's going to come out, I'm pinning it. It's like right around here. Watch the ball come out of there. And watch the ball slightly go up, just very, very, very slightly. You can notice it if you're looking for it. It's very, very subtle, very subtle. So fastball, slider are very good pitches to look for because they work well together. Let's go over this curveball real quick. This curveball has a lot of hump to it, I guess you could say. It's got a little. It's obviously slower. It's slower than his changeup, but look, it's got a little bit of an arc. Look at the arc on that, just like looking at the ball. But watch the ball. I'm going to throw a pitch and then explain it. The ball goes up and then down, and you can see it very clearly as he releases the ball. So his curveball is actually very easy to pick up along with his fastball. It's the slider and the changeup that are the tough ones to pick up. So we'll throw a curveball again down. Ball's going to go slightly up and then down real quick. That was a low. It elevates up just very slightly. You can notice it a lot more than the slider. We'll throw it one more time down here. Watch the ball literally leave his hand. It's going to pop up just very slightly right there. And you can see it, so it's very easy to time. It's only 80 miles per hour, so it's easy to catch up to. However, when the opponent is mixing in the fastball and the slider, well, it's very difficult to pick up. But just look for these pitches. Let's go over the changeup after this, but look for these pitches and the ball leaving the hand. Fastball straight out of the hand. Slider is very tough to pick up. It's one of those things you have to face him enough to understand how the ball comes out of his hand. And then curveball has that hump to it as it comes out of his hand. It literally goes up, comes back down very slightly. Change up here. We're going to throw a change up down low here. So the changeup almost looks like a fastball, so this is actually very tricky as well. The changeup looks like the fastball and then just dies. The changeup, it's got a little hump to it, but then it just dies. So we're going to watch it. It comes out, it does have a little rise to it, and then it falls. Fastball stays straight. That's easy to pick up. The slider stays straight, breaks downwards. And then the changeup and the curveball both have a little hump and then break. If you can recognize off speed, it's much easier to recognize the speed and then catch up to it rather than not recognizing anything. So what I mean is, if you see that hump, you know a curveball or changeup is coming, but you only have a split second to understand that, and then a split second to react. To you, they have Billy Wagner, and you're a right-handed hitter. They're going to try and jam you with fastballs in because his fastball is at 100 miles an hour, 101. It's very hard to catch up to that in this year's game. Recommendation, take some pitches. See how your pitcher's going to pitch with him. Don't swing at the first pitch, because swinging at Billy Wagner's first pitch is very difficult to hit. Just because you don't see his pitches very often. He only comes in for an inning or two, so you want to get used to his release point, which is obviously right here. So I would not swing at the first pitches. I would take a couple, see how the pitcher's pitching, understand the break on the ball, and seeing it will give you a mental note when he throws the next pitch. So say he starts off with a changeup, you're going to see that hump come out of his hand, and you're going to know in the back of your mind, okay, I saw that pitch. Fastball is going to be straight on a straight plane. It's going to get in there very quick. You have to react very quick and see the ball come out. Straight plane, you can react to it, get the PCI up there, swing the bat. Curveball, obviously, you got a little bit more of a hump. Usually curveballs are thrown lower in the dirt because it does have the hump, and it's a quick hump. It's not like a hanger, like a 12-6. It's a quicker curveball, so it does kind of fool you if you're not expecting it, and it's going to usually go below the zone depending on how they're pitching or what they want to do, but look for curveballs down below the zone. Sliders, these are for all right-handed hitters. Look for sliders in on the righties, okay? Because people want to jam you with the fastballs in and the sliders in because they kind of have the same release point, as I explained earlier. So look for those fastball sliders in. Changeup is to usually get below the zone as well because they want to fool you with speed. Hopefully that helped a little bit. Let's get into Nolan Ryan. All right, here we go with Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan is for me, he's one of the toughest pitchers to hit. If you have a pitcher that can control him and hit his spots, he can be lights out. Depends on the pitcher, how they can control them. That is a big thing with Nolan Ryan. His control is not very good. His control, I think, is like an 84. We'll go over it here real quick. It's a 75, so it's not good at all. To be throwing strikes before you start attacking, you're going to be much better off. See if the pitcher can throw strikes because he is very hard to control. I have him as a pitcher, obviously, here. I can control him pretty good because I'm pretty good with analog, so I have success with him. However, I face people that can't throw a strike with him just because you have to be very precise and you have to hit your spots with him. So we're going to go over his pitches here. He's got 4 pitches. A 4-seam fastball, a 12-6 curve, a circle change, and a sinker. So we're going to watch the release point of Nolan Ryan here. His fastball is very straight. Look at that plane, as you can see. It's got a release point. Make a mental note, and then we'll go over it. So his fastball is straight. As you saw there, it stayed on a straight plane, just like Billy Wagner's. It doesn't have much movement side to side. So if you can catch up to his fastball, which people like to spam a lot, you will have a lot of success hitting against Nolan Ryan. However, it's when they start mixing in the other pitches. So, like I said before, make sure your pitcher can control him, first of all. That's the biggest thing, because he is very tough to control as a pitcher. So, as we broke down, fastball, very straight plane. Fastball, now we'll do curve, his 12-6. His 12-6 does have break to it. This is a 12-6, so it is a little bit slower, and it has a lot more hump than Billy Wagner. Watch this 12-6. So this has got a lot more hump than Billy Wagner. Billy Wagner kind of comes in quick. This one has, from the get-go, it's got a hump and then comes in slower. So watch it again out of his hand. We'll throw it a little bit outside. You can see the break literally out of his hand. It's a hanger. It's a hanger curveball. So if you miss your spot with him and you hang it over the middle of the plate, it's going to get blasted because the circle change, it just kind of floats. It's a lot slower than his fastball. And literally, you can literally see it as you saw there. It's almost like floating to the plate, kind of like a knuckleball with no movement. He has a tricky circle change because there's a 20-mile-per-hour difference. I would say 22 because he's usually hitting 101 when I'm pitching with him. And that's where pitchers have success. If they can pinpoint him, if they can pinpoint the fastball, the circle change, good luck, because as a hitter, that is very difficult to hit, especially on Hall of Fame. All-Star, it's easier to catch up, bigger PCI, whatever. Hall of Fame, you have to be more precise. Legend, you have to be absolutely precise. So circle change, again, it's a floater. You can notice it out of his hand, but like his curveball and his his curveball and his changeup have that hump to it, the circle change hump, and now the sinker. Let's go over the sinker real quick. Sinker's got some good break to it. It's going to cut back on the righties and cut away from the lefties. So obviously I'm facing a righty here. Watch his sinker. It cuts in at the last second. So it's got a little rise and then cuts down as we're in strike zone. It's going to cut down to our left as we're looking at the screen right here. So it does have a little bit of late movement on it, and it's coming in at 95 miles an hour. When the pitcher can mix up the four-seamer and the sinker, it's very tough because the four-seamer stays straight and can blow by you. The sinker cuts in very slightly, and you have to get your PCI. The way they're going to attack you is fastballs up, sinkers low, curveballs in and out. But I have completely noticed, a lot of people like to throw the fastball as a pitcher. I'm going to be counting it. I'm talking as a pitcher, not a hitter here. But I'm pitching with Nolan Ryan, so take this as you're hitting. I'm going to be throwing fastballs right here a lot. I'm going to throw fastballs here a lot. I'm going to throw fastballs here a lot, in and out, in and out, in and out. And I'll throw it above the zone. I don't like to throw it right here. I like to throw it almost way out of the zone just so the hitter sees the pitch up there. And in the back of their mind, they're thinking, okay, he already threw it high. Maybe he'll try and hit the top of the zone. So I'll never actually try and throw it right here. I'll try and stay on corners, inside and out. Obviously, his control plays a factor in that because he does not have good control. So obviously, you're going to get the fastball right here. You're going to get the fastball right here. You're going to get the fastball right down the middle just because he is very tough to control. However, as the hitter, look for fastballs up in the zone. He has a deceptive windup. It's slower, and he's hiding the ball for the last second. Let's throw a fastball here. Watch his windup. He's going back over his head. It's behind his back, behind his leg, and then he throws it. So he's hiding the ball almost the entire time, where Billy Wagner is showing you the pitch the entire time. Little difference between them. Fastballs, looking for those locations. Curveballs, most curveballs you're looking for down below the zone with any pitcher. Sometimes you like to throw the curveball here. You don't want to leave a curveball up ever as a pitcher. As a hitter, that is your dream for a curveball up, a changeup up, because you see the ball just float in the zone, and it's very easy to react. Look down the plane right now as I have the camera here. Look at if a curveball comes in right there. It literally comes in right in your eyes. If you're looking directly at the screen, it's very easy to pick up, and that is exactly why you don't want to throw a hanger. I'm going to throw a hanger right here, and it's going to float, obviously, higher. That is very easy to hit. All you have to do is jam your PCI up, and as that pitch is breaking down, you're going to get a launch angle that most of the time, as long as you line it up with your PCA, as long as you line it up with your PCI, it's going to be launched. Whether it's a fly out, most likely a line out, but you're going to get that launch angle that you want to blast the ball over the fence. Sinkers, his changeup is very deceptive and it floats. So as a pitcher, I'm going to throw the changeup in, I'm going to throw it out, I'm going to throw it all over the place besides up. Obviously, you don't want to throw a changeup up like the curveball. It's going to float as you see there. That is the plane of a changeup. Look at that float right there. As I'm looking directly at my screen, it's coming directly at my eye level, looking to hit a ball. So it comes in directly with my eyes, and it's very easy to see, and you're going to see it the entire time on a plane that it's very easy to hit. That's why you don't want to throw a changeup up. That's why you don't want to throw a curveball up, because it's coming in at your opponent's eyes. That's hard to pick up because you're expecting a fastball in. So say I'm a lefty hitter, I have a lefty up here, I'm expecting fastballs in on this line right here. When you throw a changeup, you mix in the changeup, it's going to fool the hitter. That's a 20-25 mile an hour difference, and it's going to float, so you're not going to be able to react to it. So that's why I feel like changeups in on the lefties is very effective, so look for that. And kind of let those go if you can see that hump out of the hand. Remember, Nolan Ryan's fastball, like Billy Wagner's, is straight out of the hand. But his windup's tricky because you have to pick up the actual ball when he's hiding it. So it's a little trickier, obviously, than Billy Wagner's. But so look for the circle change in those locations. Sinker. This is what I like to do with the sinker when I'm pitching. You should also, as the hitter, look for this. Sinkers like to be jammed in on the hands, and especially since his breaks in on the righties and away. We're just going to talk about the righties right now. his sinker breaks in on the righties and it comes in at 94 to 97. So if he gets a sinker in, it's going to cut. It's going to cut in on the hand quick. So I'm assuming my opponent can't hit that. The pitcher is not going to be able to control that sinker. So most of the time it's usually going to go way inside, or it's going to miss its spot and hopefully hang over the plate for you. I don't usually like throwing sinkers to lefties as a pitcher because it's hard to control. As a hitter, I'm looking for fastballs in, changeups low, curveballs low. It's pretty standard. It's just recognizing the actual pitches coming out of Nolan Ryan's hand and understanding his speed differential. Because when you have all those mental notes and you're actually at bat looking at pitches, you want to just hit. And you have to actually take a step back, take a breather, slow it down, and understand his pitches and how the pitcher is attacking you. Because obviously you're expecting fastball every time. It's 99 to 101. You want to hit that quick so you're amped up to hit it. It's not always going to come on as a fastball. He's going to throw the changeup. He's going to throw the curveball. So relax when you're hitting. That's another main point I want to point out is relax when you're hitting. Because I know I do this a lot. I like to amp myself up because when I know a pitcher's coming in, obviously Nolan Ryan or obviously Billy Wagner, they throw a very hard fastball and you got to be quick for it. So I feel like me as a person, I have to be quick on the stick. So I'm amped up. I'm ready. I want to hit it. So you just got to be calm. You have to collect yourself. Yeah, hopefully some of these points helped you out. Hopefully this talking helped you out. I know it was a lot to go over for two pitchers. Maybe some of these things you can take into your own game. Understanding the breaks of the pitches as you see it. I'm going to keep doing this little series here. I'm going to take a starter and a reliever and basically break down their pitches and how their breaks happen and what to look for. This could be very helpful for some players that are having difficulty hitting certain pitchers like Nolan Ryan, like Billy Wagner. Of series, what players you want to see and you have trouble picking up, I can look at those, address them, and hopefully incorporate them into a video in the future. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.